At the 2016 American Farm Bureau annual meeting last January in Orlando, Billy and Kayla Tab represented Mississippi in the National Young Farmers and Ranchers Achievement Award Contest.
William and Kayla Tab, Mississippi.
The Tabs are diversified row crop and produce farmers from Eupora, and they brought home Mississippi's first National Achievement Award win since the early 1990s.
We had gotten pretty nervous,
Yeah, to say the least.
to say the least. But I will say, with, I guess, a little bit of confidence, we felt like we really did well. We felt like we had told our story. And so when they were narrowing it down, I knew, I was like, we either won it or we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So
It's like being in a beauty review. You know, I watch that on TV with her sometimes, and puts it in perspective when you're the last one and they hadn't called your name. It's all or nothing, you know.
yeah.
So we were confident. It's kind of like she and I talked about it. Top 10 is huge.
Huge.
To win the state is huge. I mean, so we wouldn't have gone home crying, I can assure you, if we didn't get any.
What does it mean to you to earn this award? Well, I'm not much of a public speaker at all, but we love to farm, and an award is only as good as the people giving it, and that's why it means so much. Farm Bureau, the people of Farm Bureau are good, hard-working farmers, and we want to thank y'all and thank Mississippi Farm Bureau. And we love to farm, and we'll be farming as long as the Lord lets us. So we're really proud of this, and thank y'all so much.
Can't tell you how excited about what just happened in there on the convention floor. Just a huge achievement for Mississippi to have somebody recognized in that way. Just goes to show you the quality of the young people that we've got coming up through agriculture in Mississippi. Mississippi Farm Bureau is very, very proud of Billy and Kayla Tab.
The Tabs received the keys to their new GMC Yukon at the Young Farmers and Ranchers Leadership Conference in Memphis in March.
Thank you.
Billy has been quite visible this year. He's been on billboards all over the state promoting farm families of Mississippi. And starting this February, he'll be seen statewide on TV on the Farm Families TV spots.
The food grown here in America is the healthiest and the safest on the planet. But what do we do as farmers to help make that food more affordable? Scientific research has developed varieties of crops that require fewer pesticides, less acreage, and less water. That keeps my production costs down and results in lower food costs for you. You want to know more? Go to growingmississippi.org and click on Ask a Farmer.
The Farm Families of Mississippi. Professionals from the ground up.
For their great accomplishments and for all they've done for Farm Bureau this year, let's have a big round of applause for Billy and Kayla Tab as they come to the stage.
I'm William Tab. This is my wife, Kayla. And we were honored to have been selected the winners of last year's Achievement Award and American Farm Bureau Achievement Award. And I know what it's like to sit in those chairs, and I know what y'all are thinking. It's a new pickup or four-wheelers or all these prizes. But what you're going to realize is the real prize is realizing what Farm Bureau can do for you and the connections you make with people all over the state and the friends you'll make. It's like I can't put a price on those connections. It's I may call David here and ask him something about what he's doing, or Charles or Luke or these guys. So the connection is unbelievable. And I just hope that everybody in Farm Bureau knows what this young farmer and rancher thing is doing for the whole Farm Bureau Federation. I didn't have much idea what was going on with the Federation when I was younger, but what it does and the connections it makes and what it does for the farmers, it's building young people, getting them involved, getting them motivated. I mean, we've been to Washington, we've been to Kansas. We know what y'all are doing and what the Federation is doing, and it gets us motivated and it gets people involved. And like I said, you know, the prizes are great. Lord, the prizes in Mississippi blow everybody away. I was embarrassed at Nationals to tell them what we won when they told us what they won, because Mississippi is unbelievable. I mean, what the state does is unbelievable. But the connections are unreal. And I would like to thank so many people, but Samantha, thank you so much for what you've done. President Mike, thank you so much. And it's just we've been blown away. We've been truly blessed. And another thing is, you don't see many organizations that stand for the Lord and stand for values like Farm Bureau. I'm not finished, hold on. I got a little emotional. Tonight, we're proud to announce the winner of this year's Achievement Award contest. As you know, this contest seeks to recognize outstanding young farmers in our state for the growth and development of their farming operation, their leadership skills, their ingenuity, and their Farm Bureau involvement. Please turn your attention to the screen to meet this year's regional winners.
Our first nominee is Walt Rambo from Sunflower County. Walt is a first-generation row crop farmer.
My mom was a stay-at-home mother and my dad was a Methodist preacher, or is a Methodist preacher. I grew up around Clarksdale, Mississippi and have always wanted to farm. Loved agriculture, and I started with 50 acres. I bought a planter for $800. I borrowed a tractor and gave a man a post-dated check for a combine that he didn't cash until after I harvested my first crop. We grow mainly soybeans, as has been what has carried me through so far, but we do rotate with corn and rice, depending on soil type that we're rotating, and the markets determine the other part of that.
His farm is roughly 400 acres currently, but he does have expansion plans.
I would like to see my operation grow in time by roughly 800 to 1,000 more acres. I'd like to be somewhere in that 12 to 1,500 acre range. I think that size farm leaves enough opportunity to be profitable while still being able to be managed by me and not having to solely depend on other people to manage for me. I would like to see the farm be efficient and economical while keeping stewardship of the land and conservation in the forefront as well.
And speaking of conservation, Walt has partnered with NRCS to build a tailwater recovery system to reuse water on his farm.
We were approved for our project August of 2015, and we initially started this project in October of 2015 after the crop was harvested off of this farm. The rain caught us last fall before we were finished, and we were able to get back in here in May and begin moving dirt, land leveling, and building this reservoir, and finished up about the middle of July this summer, 2016.
The declining aquifer in the Mississippi Delta makes his reservoir extremely important to the long-term survival of farming in this area.
We are recapturing our surface water through a tailwater recovery ditch and relifting the water into this 20-acre reservoir and using the water from this reservoir to furrow irrigate roughly a third of this farm, which takes roughly 100 acres of land off of the aquifer and is strictly irrigated from surface water. It's important for us to be conservationists ahead of anything because nobody else is going to come conserve our farmland for us or be stewards of this land. It's our job as farmers to take care of what we have so that we can pass this on to the next generation.
Walt has been involved in many areas of the County Farm Bureau, including being the county YF&R chairman. His wife, Ashley, is a registered nurse, and the couple has 2 children, Addison and Wyatt. Our next finalist is Justin Brooks from Yalobusha County. Justin is a 4th-generation diversified farmer.
Traditionally, we're a cotton, corn, soybean farm. Prices got a little low, margins got a little thin, so I decided this land here was going to lay out. So I decided I'll just try some of these, truck patching, so to speak. And it's turned into way more than just a truck patch. We've picked corn for 3 weeks, picked squash for a month and a half. Watermelons, we'll start picking those this coming Saturday. We've got tomatoes, bell peppers, cayenne peppers, and peas and butter beans. We're done with everything except the watermelons.
And if that's not enough, he's also got sweet potatoes, honeybees, and a small herd of cattle.
Typical day, me and the crew meet at the shop 5:30 in the morning. We'll come down here and pick vegetables for 2 hours, and then we'll go hoe for 2 hours, whichever, depending on what needs hoeing. A lot of this you can't put chemicals on that people won't bite if you got herbicides and insecticides and stuff like that, which we do put out some fungicides. This time of year it gets hot and dry, we'll start cutting hay. When it gets too hot to stay in the fields, we'll go get on a tractor and cut hay, rake hay, bale hay, and start all over tomorrow. We have cattle that are calving, or just got through calving, and that's usually the first thing I do in the morning. Check the cows, make sure nothing's having problems, and then the crew and I get together and decide what needs doing.
Justin is also the chairman of the county YF&R committee.
I love being involved with the Farm Bureau. Suzanne and I love going to the conventions and meeting young farmers and old farmers. We love meeting people that do the same thing that we do. And we don't have a whole lot of opportunity to do that out here every day. So, when there's a convention somewhere, we try to participate.
Justin's wife, Suzanne, is a stay-at-home mom and helps with all the operations on the farm. They have 2 children, Andy, who is 4, and 2-year-old Bailey. And when it comes to his family, Justin really has his priorities straight.
It really doesn't matter what I think, it's what my wife thinks. She loves it. She loves it. It is, she eats it up. She loves the farmer's market. She loves dealing with people. She loves bringing us lunch at lunchtime. It's 15 of us out here most of the time. And she brings lunch for all 15 of us. And she eats it up. She loves it.
Our next nominee is Marlo Beason from Neshoba County. Marlo is co-owner of Beason Family Farms, a small dairy farm with beef cattle and custom hay harvesting.
We've been doing this dairy operation for 4 years now. We started in September of 2012. So we just started really small with about 6 to 8 milk cows, and we've just kind of grew over time as we've added more cows when we've needed more supply of milk.
They're currently milking around 35 cows each day, and they only milk registered Jersey cows.
They're a better quality of milk, and they're more docile, and they're smaller to handle, and they're just, like I said, it's a better quality and has more fat content in the milk.
This dairy is a fully integrated operation from start to finish.
We milk every day, twice a day. Usually we start around 7:30 in the morning and 7:30 at night. Usually if we have field trip kids, we start a little later in the mornings. We pasteurize milk every day and bottle every day. We have a delivery route 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We're in 30 different locations with restaurants and grocery stores. And we also have a storefront where we have an honor system, so anyone can come at any time and buy their milk if we are not here, or if it's late or early in the morning. We just have a list and you can leave your name and make your own change in the bucket. We have buttermilk and whole milk and reduced fat chocolate. And people also like to buy cream, like pints of cream or gallons of cream, and they make their own butter with it or put it in their coffee or something.
Their milk is pasteurized, but not homogenized.
So our cream line rises to the top once it settles on the shelf, so you have to give it a good shake before pouring it each time. It's on the shelf within 2 days.
Their pasteurization process is special also.
The pasteurization is a VAP pasteurization, which is where we have a lower temp for a longer time. It's a less effect on the milk because it has a better taste, and it keeps the quality of the milk and the fat content, the protein, and everything in it.
In addition to milk production, the Beasons also host school groups to teach them about the dairy.
We usually just have them come in the morning time when they can come and watch the milking process, and we can show them the tour through the barn. I get to show them that, it comes in the back of the barn in a cow and it leaves in the front of the barn in a milk jug. The whole process and how it gets to the grocery store where they can buy it, because a lot of times they just think it just shows up at the grocery store. So this gives them a better idea of where their milk comes from and other products, dairy products like cheese and yogurt and ice cream and stuff. So we usually, let them bottle feed calves and hand milk a cow, and we have a little snack and have milk, and when we have cream available, we'll make butter with them and stuff like that.
Their business is called Beason Family Farms for a reason. Husband Shelby and kids Cole, Michaela, and Landon are a big part of it. Our next nominees are Levi and Shannon Rogers from Covington County. The Rogers run a large cattle operation that spreads out over several counties.
As a family operation, we graze about 30,000 head a year, and we just buy basically a 400-pound yearling calf, heifer, steer, bull, and raise them up. We sell the steers about 750 to 800 pounds and grow the heifers to about 700. And myself personally and Shannon, we do about 4,000 head on our own. 400-pound steers, same situation. sell them $750, $800, and in the wintertime we do a ryegrass. Typical day, I leave the house about 6 or so and just go and try to check the cattle early in the morning. It's the best time to check them, and especially when it's hot, early in the morning or right before dark, one of the two. Just run around and do anything, whether it be, doctoring sick cattle or buying cattle on Mondays or fixing fence, fixing water lines, just feeding cows, just any number of things could come across during the day.
Levi's wife Shannon also has a big role in the family business.
So I am Levi's bookkeeper for the 4,000 head that we run, and then I also am the bookkeeper for the buying yard on Mondays. And when I'm not doing that or chasing Rhett around, I'm running the store. I have Stock Pro Animal Health in Collins, and I'm a volume distributor of animal health supplies. It's a big need for our area to have somewhere that farmers could go and locally pick up something same day and not have to have something shipped out of a catalog. So it's something I've done for the last 6 years and continue to grow and increase each year.
They also sell some of their beef locally to some very lucky customers.
We also, I sell at the store Honestly Beef, which is our family operation of farm fresh pasture raised beef. So that's a real draw to some people to be able to come in there and get some beef they can take home and cook up that night.
Shannon also plays a role in the County Farm Bureau.
I sit on our county board, and I was the vice chair of the Young Farmers and Ranchers State Committee. I'm also the vice chair of the Farm Families Communications Committee, which has really been a cool thing to be a part of, getting to make some really important decisions about what our state and community is going to know about farmers and what we do.
The Rogers have a 1-year-old son, Rhett. Our final Achievement Award nominee this year is Taylor Hickman from Hattiesburg. Taylor operates a poultry operation near the hub city.
Back in '07, when I was 21 years old, I built 4 chicken houses. So I grew those for 9.5 years before I decided to build these. I built these alongside my brother. We both own this farm together. It's called C&T. His name's Clifton, my name's Taylor, C&T. So we placed these birds back at the end of April, and growing the second flock right now.
Taylor grows for Sanderson Farms and raises, on average, 5 flocks per year.
It's not one of these things you put them in and then you go off for a week or so. It's a daily process. First thing we do in the mornings, you go in, make sure the lines are full, the feeders' lines are full, make sure they got water. You look at the temperatures, there's controllers in there that'll show you the temperatures and whatnot. You go in there and look for anything that may hinder their performance, get out, go into the next house, do it all over again. Then we'll come back at noon, kind of do the same thing, not as detailed, and then we'll do it periodically, throughout the day and then before bed each night.
Keeping the birds comfortable is the key to good poultry production.
On one end of the chicken house, there are things called cool cell pads. On the other end, there are fans. Now these new houses have way more fans and cool pads than my older ones do. These have 120 foot down each side of cooling pads, and I've got 16 fans at the end. These cooling pads is basically just like a water recirculator. It'll drop the temperature, dramatically.
Taylor is active in Farm Bureau, including starring in one of last year's Farm Families of Mississippi commercials.
Because properly caring for our chickens is not only the smart thing to do, it's the right thing to do.
The Farm Families of Mississippi, professionals of the highest standards.
He's also the County Farm Bureau president.
Farm Bureau has given me a lot of opportunities, and I'm not just saying this because this is a Farm Bureau video, but I mean it's tremendous what they offer and the leadership responsibilities. If you make yourself available, they're going to put you to work. They're going to find something for you to do. They're going to put you in there and give you a shot anyway.
And those are the nominees for the Young Farmers and Ranchers Achievement Award.
The winner of the
Achievement Award will receive a 2016 Ford F-150 pickup truck and $500, compliments of Southern Farm Bureau Casualty Insurance Company. 250 hours use of a Kubota tractor of their choice, compliments of Kubota. 100 hours use of a 150 horsepower John Deere tractor of their choice, compliments of John Deere. $500 compliments of Southern Ag Credit. $500 compliments of Watson Quality Ford. $1,800 for technological improvements to their farm, and an expense-paid trip to compete in the AFBF Young Farmer and Ranchers Achievement Award contest held at the American Farm Bureau Federation Annual Convention in Phoenix, Arizona during January 2017. Go ahead. The 2016 Achievement Award winner is...
Are y'all nervous? I was. Levi and Shannon Rogers, Region 6. Congratulations. Please join me at the podium to accept your awards, say a few words, cry a little bit, tell us what you think. Tell us how excited you are.
I'm very excited. I want to thank Mississippi Farm Bureau for being a great voice for agriculture in Mississippi. Thank the Young Farmer and Rancher Committee. Thank my regional manager, John Kilgore, for getting me involved in the whole team. And thank you. We're excited.
I just want to say that we have had such stiff competition, and it was incredible to be surrounded by all of these people. Young farmers are just doing an incredible job, and I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. Thank y'all.